Good morning, everyone. At least it's morning here, and welcome to week 6. Time is definitely flying. So before I get into what we're going to do this week, I wanted to make a few comments about the discussions last week, and that is mainly that getting everyone on the same page when it comes to the definition of a point and the definition of done is very much easier said than done. I can see from the discussion that defining done can be different for everyone. And again, the key in Agile is to have that meeting up front where everyone agrees, what does it look like when a story is complete? That could mean that it meets all the acceptance criteria. That sounds ridiculous, but trust me, there are people that say, oh, it's 90% done, therefore it's done. It could mean that it goes through quality assurance. It could mean that it meets certain compliance requirements. There's a lot that can go into that. And you can think of the definition of done as an acceptance criteria that applies to everything. So some people choose to include those criteria in every story, others don't. It just depends. The other thing I found interesting was the debate on time versus points, and this is still a hot topic in Agile. I saw a lot of people commenting on Agile Poker. Agile Poker sounds great, and I'm sure it has worked. I've personally not seen it work, but I also think there were a number of reasons for that. So it's one tool that you can use. I actually have an Agile deck of poker playing cards. You can use it. You can try it. If it works for the teams, then great. If not, then not. Then try something else or figure out what is behind it not working. And the idea of using time and effort in point estimation is still hotly debated, and you'll have an opportunity to discuss that more in future courses. But I really enjoyed the discussion. So on to what we are going to do this week. So I'm sure a lot of you are very curious about what we're going to do with the group project. And no, you will not be doing a client review. And I will post specifics about this in an announcement, and I'll also post it in your daily stand-up, in your daily stand-up discussion. So first of all, what you're going to be doing this week, number 1, apply whatever you learned from your retrospective last week. Document it, adjust, however you need to adjust going forward. That's the purpose of a retrospective, is to adapt and to change for what works for the team. Then I'm going to ask you to, first of all, define done for your team. So we talked about what the definition of done is last week. I want you to apply that to your team this week. And then, in applying last week, I would also like you to define a point for your team. What does that mean in terms of completion? Because you're going to want to estimate your velocity and all of those good things. So, number 1, apply your retro. Number 2, define done. Number 3, define a point. And then size your stories for the first iteration. So figure out what stories, and there should be more than one, by the way. You should definitely not just have one story per iteration. Figure out what stories go into your iteration, size them based upon your definition of a point and your definition of done. And then finally, package that up as if you were going to deliver it to a client. So let's say you had a client that you worked very well with, and they have insight into your stories and insight into what you're doing, which is very agile, by the way, client partnerships. So what set of stories, sized and defined, would you provide to a client? Okay? If you have any questions about that, I am always available for you. I am actually going to be traveling this week, so I may not get grading done by the end of today as I usually do, but it will definitely be done by the end of the week, which is the overall commitment that I have to you. I will also be available for office hours. Again, click on that Zoom link and join the meeting. I'll get a notification. I'll be in within 30 seconds. I just don't keep the Zoom on the whole time because it fires up my CPU, and my computer doesn't like that. So with that, again, let me know if you have any questions on the project this week. I look forward to the discussion this week and your assignments. Have a great day, everyone.